Welcome back to BFCU's Money Minute.
Great to be back.
So we've spent some time looking at fraud, in general terms.
Broad strokes.
Exactly. And now we want to start taking a closer look, really dive into specific types of scams that are, unfortunately, quite common.
Good idea. There's a lot out there.
Today we're going to tackle romance scams.
Yes. These are particularly, well, insidious because they really prey on people's emotions, on their need for connection.
They sound awful. How do they work? I mean, what's the setup?
Well, basically, criminals create these fake online identities. They might use stolen photos, craft really believable backstories.
Okay.
And they use dating sites or social media to find potential victims. Their whole aim is to gain affection, build trust.
Right, build that connection.
Exactly, all for the purpose of, financial exploitation down the line. They're very skilled at appearing genuine, caring, like the perfect partner.
It seems hard to believe people wouldn't see through it. How do they make it seem so real?
Speed is often key, and intensity. They tend to rush the relationship, showering the target with attention and affection. Sometimes people call it love bombing.
Love bombing, okay.
Yeah, it builds that trust really quickly. You might hear talk of being soulmates, even marriage, surprisingly early in the relationship.
Wow, that fast.
Oh, yeah. They're masters at sounding genuine, understanding, really tapping into what someone might be looking for.
So it's like a whirlwind romance, but entirely online. Then what?
Well, once they feel that emotional connection is solid, that trust is there, that's usually when their requests for money start creeping in.
Ah, there it is.
Yeah. And there's often a common story, a typical excuse. We see this a lot. And they claim to work overseas, maybe in building, construction, something like that.
Okay, so that explains why they can't meet in person.
Exactly. It gives them a built-in excuse for not being physically present. And it also creates a sort of plausible setup for needing funds later. Well, they'll suddenly have an emergency related to their overseas work. Maybe a medical issue, a sudden legal fee, equipment failure, something that requires urgent cash. And because they're stuck overseas...
They need you to send money.
Precisely. It plays on sympathy, that established trust, and the distance makes it really hard to verify anything they say.
That's clever in a horrible way. What about other red flags, things people should really watch out for?
Definitely. Beyond the super fast declarations of love, be really wary if they pressure you to move your conversation off the dating platform or social media site very quickly.
Why do they do that?
It helps them isolate you. They can control the conversation more easily, maybe avoid the platform's security measures. Plus, it makes it harder for your friends or family to see what's going on if they happen to be on the same platform.
So isolation is a tactic.
A big one. Any attempt to discourage you from talking to friends or family about the relationship is a huge warning sign. They want to be your only confidant, the only one you trust.
Chilling. Okay, anything else?
Absolutely. Any request for inappropriate photos, especially early on, or asking for financial details like bank account numbers, credit card info, major red flags.
What would they do with photos or bank info?
Photos could be used for blackmail later. Bank info. Well, sometimes they might even ask you to receive money into your account and then transfer it elsewhere.
Why would they do that?
You'd essentially be acting as a money mule, helping them launder money from other victims or other crimes. Never, ever agree to that. Don't share your account detail.
Got it. That's crucial. And what about the meeting in person thing?
Right. If they constantly promise to meet but always have an excuse, a last-minute crisis, a passport issue, a sick relative, that pattern is incredibly telling. If you've been talking intensely for months online and haven't met face-to-face,
Be very suspicious.
extremely suspicious.
Okay, so what's the absolute bottom line here?
It's simple, really, but vital. Never, ever send money to someone you have only met online or communicated with by phone.
No matter how convincing they are.
No matter how convincing the story, no matter how strong the feelings seem, the emotional manipulation is the core of the scam. Don't fall for it.
That's really critical advice. Thanks. And just a reminder for everyone listening, if you want more information on protecting yourself from this and other scams, please visit bfcu.org. Head to the Education tab and then click on Fraud News. Lots of good resources there.
Definitely worth checking out.
And if you do suspect card fraud, need to report something. For BFCU cards, call 800-647-2328 and choose option 6. Or you can text 318-549-8145 during business hours. That's Monday to Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m.
And there are after-hours numbers too, right?
Yes. For after-hours debit card fraud, it's 866-274-2761. And for after-hours credit card fraud, call 800-543-5073.
Good to have those handy. Staying vigilant, understanding these tactics, it really is your best defense against these scams. They cause so much emotional and financial damage.
Absolutely. Well, that's all the time we have for today.
Stay safe out there.
Don't forget to follow BFCU's Money Minute, where we make money make sense.